So now I want to look at some past paper questions, CSEC past paper questions. And here's the first one. So how do we go about working a problem like this? Right? Well, my advice would be to work out the numerator first. So this, we try to work the value for that, and then we try to work out the value for the denominator. Alright? So at the top here, let me just put top. At the top here, we have a half times 3/5. And as we know, whenever you're multiplying two fractions, numerator times numerator, so 1 times 3, over denominator times denominator, so 2 times 5, 10. Alright? And at the bottom here, we have 3.5, and 3.5, we convert that, that's just 2 times 3, which is 7, and 1, so 7 over 2. Alright? So this problem is really, the top works out to be, so this part was what, 3 over 10, this part worked out to be 3 over 10. Alright? And this part worked out to be 7 over 2. So what we really have here is 3 over 10. That's the value of the fractions in blue there, surrounded by the blue circle there, divided by what we have below, which was 7 over 2. So remember division, this becomes 3 over 10 times 2 over 7. And as we know, when I'm multiplying fractions, it's 3 times 2, 6. 10 times 7 is 70. And if you want to simplify 6 over 70, remember, if you simplify in a fraction, you have to divide numerator and denominator by the same value. In this case, 2 can go into both numbers since both numbers are even. So 6 divided by 2, that's 3. And 70 divided by 2, that's 35. Doesn't look like that can be simplified any further. Let's try another one. So here's another exam questions and fraction. So I implore you, pause the video and attempt the question. And then we can check together. So, the top, let's deal with the top first. Alright, the top. We have 3.5 times 1 2/3. What's 3.5? 2 times 3, 6, 6 and 1, 7. So 3.5 converts to 7 over 2. And 1 2/3 converts to 5 over 3. Alright? So remember, when you're multiplying two fractions, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 7 times 5, that's 35. And 2 times 3, that's 6. And at the bottom there now, 4 and 1/5. That is equal to 5 times 4, 20. And 121 over 5. Alright? So what I really have here now, so remember, everything at the top here worked out to be 35 over 6. Divided by everything we have below here worked out to be 21 over 5. So this becomes 35 over 6. And remember, when you're dividing, change it to a multiplication, and then you flip or reciprocate the one on the right hand side. you get 5 over 21. So we're multiplying two fractions here. So numerator times numerator. So 35 times 5. That's 35 times 5. 5 times 30 is 150. 5 times 15. 5 times 5 is 25. So that's 175. Divided by 6 times 21. That's what, 126. And if you wish to simplify that, it seems like so it cannot be simplified, can it? Alright, so yes, it seems like 7 can go into both numbers, because from here you could have divided both the 35 and the 21 by 7. So we could simplify it, the 175 and it 1 over 126, divide both the 175 and the 126 by 7. So 125 divided by 7 is 25, and 126 divided by 7, that seems to be 18. Alright, so 25 over 18 is the simplest form. Or if you wish to convert it to a mixed fraction, 25 into 25 divided by 18, that's what, 1. And with a remainder of what? 7? The remainder of 7. So 25 over 18 are 1 and 7 over 18. That's our answer. Let's do another past paper question. 2 2/3 plus 1 1/5 all over 6 2/5. So again, let's work out the top. The 2 2/3 plus the 1 1/5, right? So 2 2/3, that's 3 2's 6, 6 and 2, that's 8. Plus 1 1/5, 5 1 5 and 1, that's 6 over 5. Let's work this out. So we're adding two fractions here, and you will recall when you're doing this topic, for us to add these two fractions, the denominators need to be the same before we can add them, right? So the LCM here is 15, so we want to make both of these have a denominator of 15. So to get the 3 to have a denominator of 15, we can multiply by 5, which means we need to multiply the numerator by the same value. And the 6 over 5, we want this 5 to become 15. So what do? We multiply it by 3. But remember, whatever is done to the denominator, the same has to be done to the numerator. So hence 8 over 3 becomes 5 times 8, 40, 5 times 3, 15, plus 6 times 3, 18, 5 times 3, 15. So now we can add both numerators, 40 and 18, sorry. That's what, 58 over 15. So the entire numerator here, all the top here, works out to be 58 over 15. And this 6 2/5 works out to be 5 times 6, 30, and 2, 32 over 5. 32 over 5. So the problem becomes 58 over 15 is what everything at the top works out to be. And down below here now, the 6 2/5 works out to be 32 over 5. Hence, we have what here now? 58 over 15. I will change division to a multiplication. And 5 over 32. And what a lot of persons will do from here is 5 divided 5 into the 15. I think you'll end up with 3. But let's stick to what we've been doing. So you're multiplying two fractions. And what always work? Numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. So we have 58 times 5. That's what, 290. And we have 15 times 32. That's what, 480. And it seems like both numbers can be divided by what, 10? So 290 divided by 10, that's 29. And 480 divided by 10, that's 48. Remember, when you're simplifying a fraction, you need to divide both numerator and the denominator by the same value, in this case 10. So 29 over 48 is our answer.